I'm gonna go out to the field and I wanna do a disc comparison. Today we're gonna do the Eagle. It's my favorite disc to throw. I have a wide array of Eagles that I can choose from. So I'm gonna start from what I think is oldest to the newest. We're gonna start with the Ching Eagle. This is in a DX style plastic from 1998 Masters Cup Special. Now we're gonna go down to the 10-time Eagle. This predates Champion Edition. As you can see, it's kind of like the special edition plastic. Nice disc. Now we've got the Champion Edition Eagle, one of my favorites. Can't wait to see how that flies. An 11-time Eagle. This one is still fresh. Should be a fun one to try out. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot one. This is gonna go in the middle of these two. This is a 10-time Eagle, but with kind of a Champion Edition style plastic. This predates the Champion Edition just by a little bit. This is right before they actually made the first original 5 Champion Edition discs. That is gonna be after that 10-time. Both 10 times, but a different plastic blend. Pretty interesting. On the Champion 11-time. Right here we've got the, what I call the 2015 flatter Eagle run. A lot of guys know this one as the Calvin Heimberg Eagle run. Got a few of these. This one's nice and seasoned. I found this in Estonia and I couldn't resist. I had to pick it up. Nice disc. We've got last year's Tour Series Star Eagle. This one's seasoned in about a year. I also have a freshie, or a brand new one that I'll bring with me as well to kind of show you guys a comparison of how they fly after being beat in for a year and then brand new. And then we've got the brand new Tour Series Eagle from INNOVA. This just came out last month. I've been enjoying the way it flies, and you know, the Star Plastic's so quality, it's hard to beat in, so I need some more reps with it. So come out to the field and let's see how these fly. Of course, it's awesome. This is our little home track over here at the Henderson Civic Center. We're just gonna go to one of my favorite little holes, hole 7. So I've got a bunch of Eagles. I showed them to you in the intro. I added one more, which is a super seasoned Champion Edition Eagle with the NorCal mini stamp, of course. Gotta rep my NorCal peeps. So we're gonna start from chronological order from oldest to newest, and we'll just kind of talk about the way they fly and what they do, and you know, maybe which one you would choose for a specific shot. Today we've got the wind coming out of the right to left, coming north to south, so the discs are gonna fade a little bit more than normal, especially with the overstable pieces. That means I'm gonna wanna hang them out a little bit wider to make up for that fade. Some of the flippier stuff, I'm gonna maybe wanna take it a little bit more direct on line, not as much to the left, because as soon as the disc turns over, it's gonna wanna land, it's gonna wanna get pushed down by the wind. So, without further ado, let's give it a start here, and we're gonna go with the Masters Cup Special, 2nd generation Ching. Now this one, semi-seasoned in, but notice it's got a pretty high wing to it. So, I'm gonna give it a rip, we'll see how it flies. Again, with this right to left, I'm gonna probably try to draw it out a little bit wider and then let the fade take care of it. So, not as wide as I wanted. Kind of got caught up running downhill here, but notice how that didn't really have that much glide. That's fairly prototypical for a DX disc. It won't have as much glide as a Champion Edition or a Star plastic disc. The one good thing is it didn't have as much fade either. Without, you know, less glide means less fade. So that being said, super awesome disc. I highly recommend that you check out a DX Eagle. Now we're gonna move on to the 10-time Casey. Now this is an earlier 10-time KC given to me from my friend Mats over in Sweden. Thank you, Mats. I love this disc. This is more of a special edition style plastic. So it's not, this predates Champion Edition. This is what the original KC Pro was for the 9 times and the 10 times. Notice how it's a little bit taller than that last DX one I have. This thing's gonna have a good amount of glide, but since it's this plastic, I don't think it's gonna be as overstable. I'm just gonna basically take it on pretty much a straight line, and I'm just gonna aim it a little bit right of the basket. On to our next one. This is a KC Pro 10 time, but this is a little bit more near the Champion Edition stuff. The Champion Edition stuff is a little bit more firm than this, but this was kind of the origins of the Champion Edition. As you can see, this thing is super fingerprinty. It's probably about 20 years old. Throw this one like Climo, right? I'm gonna stay on my toes, and I'm gonna really be deliberate with the steps and assertive with where I wanna put it. This one will pop up. Typically I throw this on forehand. This one will pop up backhand. Main thing I'm gonna try to do is give it a little bit of hyzer snap, keep the disc fairly low, and I expect this disc to pop up to flat, maybe turn just a little bit, and then fade back. So. Oh, baby! Oh, I love the way that just flew. Even with the crosswind, it just clicked right there on that turnover. It had turnover angle, or what looked like it was gonna go to the right, but because the wind was fighting it, it just stayed on that straight line, and it really fought. On to what I consider the creme de la creme, Champion Edition Eagle. Gifted from my buddy Nate up there in Kansas. Thank you so much. This one's a 170, maybe a little bit lighter than I'm used to, but since it's brand new, this will have a good amount of fade on it. It won't have a ton of glide, but it's gonna fade. So if I throw this with a touch of hyzer, I'm expecting it to pop up almost to flat, maybe a touch of turnover, especially with this wind. The wind is gonna try to fight it down, but the fade is gonna be a little stronger than that previous 10 time. Okay, now, oh, here we go. Now we're gonna bust out the old one. Very well seasoned. Notice how this one's super pancake on top. This is gonna be really, really flippy. So I gotta take this back to the old school guys. You know, a lot of the old schoolers, this was the fastest disc when it first came out to me. I think I was like maybe 13 years old. This was the disc, right? There was nothing faster than this. So a lot of the old school guys, they throw with a lot of hyzer and then bend the disc up. Precisely what I'm gonna need to do with this really flippy Eagle. Put it on a ton of hyzer and maybe take a little bit of the power off, and then just watch the magic. I love those discs so much. Now, Champion Eagle, don't keep that. Message me, we'll work something out, okay? Yes. The 11 time Ken Climo Champion Eagle. Another one that's got a pretty flat profile on top. I think that the wing may be a little bit, I think the wing might just be a little bit taller on these, meaning the distance from where the disc contacts what would be the ground or the earth to where the bottom of the wing is. I think this is just a little taller. You'll notice with like a Firebird that the wing is really tall. The taller the wing, the more overstable the disc is gonna be. So this is brand new, mint. The sticker's been on here for, when did Climo win his last one? 2006. So this sticker's been on here since maybe anywhere from about 03 to 06. Wow. That thing was literally almost glued on there. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to throw this disc right now. All right, so This time I'm gonna aim it right out at the house there. Something on the right side. Wind's pushing right to left, so it's gonna fade in. But I'm gonna try to give this one a pretty good lick. I wanna see what it's got. It's perfect. It's a perfect disc. Here we go, into the 2015 flat runs, also known as the Calvin run. This is just super nice and flat. This is one of the flatter runs of Eagles that they've come out with in recent years. It's a little bit beefier than some of the Champion Edition discs, or maybe that 11 time, or even the KC 10 times that I showed you. What I mean by beefier is I think that they put a new bottom on it, and so this has a nice high wing. Again, and these are brand new. This is almost Firebird-esque, very overstable, which is probably why Calvin loves him so much, because he just throws this so far. He just smashes it, and he needs him to come back. So you can totally see why he loves it. I'm a big fan as well. This is a great run. This one's been seasoned in for about 8 months, and I'm just gonna give this a nice good lick. What I'm looking for out of a disc like this is a pretty straight flight, gradual finish. You throw it right at those 2 trees down there. Nice, loving it. And that thing was so sweet. Just kind of popped up, did that, kind of held that turnover a little bit, and on back it came. You know, that wind's helping out a little bit. So, okay. On to what's next. This is one of the newer run Champion Eagles that I had sent in my allotment. You can see there is maybe just a little bit higher of a dome, but it still has a nice flat there on top. This thing's brand new, so I expect it to be pretty overstable. You know what, let's just mess around for a second. I'm just gonna throw this thing on hyzer, and we're just gonna watch what it does. We'll see how much it pops up. This wind is starting to really kick up now, so. Now we're into the Tour Series. So we'll talk about the 2018. This is the one that I've seasoned in for about a year. I typically throw these backhand, unless the shot just really calls for a stable eagle shot. And the first one's up, I'm gonna go with the old guy. This thing flies great. And with this crosswind, I expect this one to hold a little bit and then fade. Time with the brand new, or very lightly seasoned 2018 Tour Series. Pretty much did the same thing, had a better release that time, but those 2018s are very, very overstable. And finally, this year's new Tour Series Eagle. Again, it's got a nice little pop top dome to it. What that tells me is immediately that this thing is going to fight the wind well, but it's also gonna have a lot of glide when it's thrown properly. So I'm just gonna try to hang it out to the right and then see how much fade I can get out of it. Nice, perfect. Perfect, nice dependable fade. You notice I hung that one out to the right side a good ways, and then the wind kind of dragged it in. But thank you so much for anybody that picked one up. Big thanks to INNOVA for putting out the Tour Series for all the players this year. I'm really looking forward to what's next. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys.